Hello, welcome to Actors. I'm Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, I'm about to show you a game.
Yes.
Not a Hero.
Yeah.
By Roll7. Same guys who brought us OlliOlli. Quick intro. This is going to be 5 things you need to know about the game, including the fact that it's going to be on PlayStation 4 very soon.
Excellent.
But quick intro. It's like a side-scrolling shooter. Imagine Hotline Miami, but squashed and then crossed with OlliOlli.
Okay, I have done, and I'm excited by it.
All right, and here's the reasons that you should like it. So, number 1, the violence and swearing. I mean, this isn't the thing, not that you should necessarily like about it, but it's a really strange story about this guy called Bunny Lord who's come back from the future, and he is trying to get elected mayor by beating the crap out of crime.
Okay.
So basically, what you need to know is, a bit like Hotline Miami, it looks, pixel art and cute. It's an incredibly violent game with lots of swearing in it. This is a character which we're going to see a bit more of it in a minute, but look at the kind of the acrobatic way he kind of, there's lots of blood.
My God.
Lots of things are going on at once.
How do they do this with just 2 dimensions and pixels?
You think they'd need an extra dimension just to deal with, all of the blood and the gore, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I know.
So it seems really fast, Nath. There's a lot of speed in it.
It is, yeah, and it's rhythmic as well. This is kind of what I want to talk about, the kind of the general gameplay. You very much like it's built around the idea that it's basically side-scrolling and you can get into cover. You can dodge in certain places. That's when your character goes slightly greyed out, and enemies can do that too. And then depending on what enemies it is you're facing, there gets to be like a real rhythm of like ducking into, this is the end of the violence part, look, that's you dying horribly, but there gets to be a real rhythm to it, in and out, and that depends on, point number 2 is, there are lots of different characters. You unlock them as you go through. You can see we're about halfway through the game. This is the very first character. He's a basic guy. His name is Steve. Steve is a foul-mouthed man from London.
I like Steve.
Loads of the audio has got like a real homemade quality to it.
Yeah.
Steve swears a lot. Either we're going to beep any if they pop up on the sound, but he basically F's and blinds his way through. This is Cletus. Now, as well as having different personalities, they have actually very, very different kind of weapons and skill sets.
Okay.
Cletus pretends to be Scottish. That's one of his character traits.
Right.
And he has a shotgun. So he's got like less ammunition in there, which is really important because reloading is probably when you're most vulnerable in the game. But he can shoot doors. Pop.
Oh, that's nice.
And that puts people on the ground.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so little things like that, and you don't really. Basically, I went back even when I was making this video, having played the game for quite a long time, and then you go back and you read the descriptions of the other characters. This is Mike. He's the latest character that we've got. He's very fast, and he has. It looks like a knife, so his melee attacks are pretty brutal, but also the speed with which he can slide along the ground and then shoot people with his shotgun, but he only has an ammo clip of 2.
His shotgun seems much more powerful than Cletus' shotgun. It seems like a one-shot kill most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of true for Cletus as well if you get it right, but even so I think it's slightly more accurate. And also he can slide for a lot longer on his back there, and you can fire as you're sliding. So I don't know what the other, the remaining characters are going to be. It was a bit ugly in there, but that's kind of shows you how powerful his shotgun is. I just kept on sliding in and pressing the button.
Do you think, Nath, that you need to use these different characters, to
sure.
progress, or you could get through it all with Steve?
Very comfortable. You can definitely do it all with any of them. And again, this is Jesus. He's a lot like Jesus from The Big Lebowski, kind of crossed with Al Pacino from Scarface.
Nice.
There's a few Al Pacino quotes that just keep popping up. He's got this Uzi, it looks like. And he's he's like a ballerina of automatic weapons.
That's very much how I think of myself.
He's the one I've been playing with the most. Again, he slides, and then you can kind of shoot as you slide like that. And this is I can't remember the lady's name. That's terrible, but she's Welsh.
Excellent.
And again, it was only when I went back to look at all the characters that I realised what she does. She can run and shoot. And she can run and reload, which is huge because later on there are different enemy types that you really need to run away from. And if you've got no ammo and that's why you're running away, when do you stop?
Yeah.
So running away and being able to reload is very, very important.
I'm glad to hear that the characters, it's not like a necessary, it comes down to sort of gameplay choices, like how do you want to play a little bit. You find out the one that suits your playstyle.
And even for different levels.
Yeah.
That can is important. Some with the ninjas, I'd want that lady. So we're moving along to number 3. This is the different weapon power-ups. So look at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Hot shot was the little thing that. So basically, when people die, you get different ammo types that pop up. You grab them. And so currently I've got Fat Boy, which is obviously a nod to the Fat Man from Fallout.
Wow.
It's basically a massive nuke. I just wanted to show how things can get very messy and chaotic. I accidentally blew myself to the end of the level there, and I couldn't actually complete it. The laser is very powerful. Everyone who gets hit by the laser, including slightly harder characters, slightly tougher characters, just gets vaporized if they're not in cover.
Oh, this is great. It's just outrageous. I really like the idea that some of the weapon types aren't necessarily even too useful. Like the fat man looked like it looked like, you know, it was unwieldy and it could do you more trouble.
Drill shot, I don't like, people just fall to bits. Look at the guts.
Horrible.
Of the drill shot, and they combine with the player's own like strength as well. This is speed load, which is useful. Is it speed load? No. We're moving on. No, excuse me. We're moving on now from ammo types to the different kind of explosives that you get. This is me about to drop a mine in front of some ninjas. Then I run away. You can kind of... the gameplay's so quick, it's quite hard to kind of stop and explain. This is you using bouncing grenades to kill a load of SWAT policemen who've come to try and arrest you.
I'm a big fan of this.
It was a foolish idea of theirs.
Yeah, these are special weapons, aren't they? They're sort of hidden in...
you pick them up in boxes.
Like sort of suitcases and boxes and stuff.
So this is my Molotov, and they're all good for different reasons. You know, like, again, so a Molotov is really good for... You can burn people even when they're in cover with a Molotov, and you know that the fire will... So I see these guys about to come up the stairs.
Yeah.
So then I throw it now, and it burns them, and then they fall back down the stairs.
So
they all have their own kind of tactical... uses. This is a turret, so for the first time I placed this turret, not particularly special, I just wanted to see what it did. And then I realised, again, this is a level with the SWAT team and they're chasing you at the end of the level. So as soon as I got the turret the next time when I was playing with Mike, I popped it next to the exit, which is where they kill you. And as they chased after me, I also had a Rico shot ammo type on, so it just went nuts.
That's cool.
It's a bad room.
I like you can actually use it and put some real thought into it.
This is a cat bomb. This is my favourite power-up. You said it's a bit like the sheep in Worms, and you are right. You can see how big the explosion is. It's very hard to use without actually getting killed, but basically the cat just walks into people and then explodes. And lastly, what I wanted to explain, the kind of last variant on all of the different things that change the basic gameplay of running around and shooting people, are the enemy types. And you start off basically, you know, the idea is that you're cleaning up crime. The missions get weirder and weirder. But at the beginning, you're playing, you're basically fighting Russian kind of mobs, not mobs. So they kind of, they say Russian accented things at you.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're like shooting, you know, like just like street gangs. These guys all sound like they're from South London. They will say stuff like, I didn't mean it, and then you execute them and shoot them. It's quite a violent game, really. And this is the first time that they have automatic weapons, which really like forces you to use cover a bit more. And then you kind of see that guy at the back. He takes a bit more punishment as well. I've got a laser, so he just evaporates. But normally, look, here's another one. And now actually I've got the fat boy. Obviously, I came prepared for these guys.
Nice.
But like some of them are, you know, when you see, it's like a mini boss. You know, you see him in the crowd, and you know that it's going to get a little bit tougher.
So this is where the difficulty ramp comes from. It's the enemy types become a bit more canny as you progress.
Yeah, and the game and getting good at the game, and then it depends on your combination of playstyle, from the character you're using, the different weapons that you pick up, and how you choose to use them, and then the situations that you find yourself in the mission. You know, like not just the enemies that you're up against, but the things it's asking you to do. The last thing I've done, like I said, I think we're about halfway through the game. I'm in these Japanese areas, and these ninja ladies, I've actually looks like I've dealt with them quite well there. Because I've got grenade shots, so if I hit someone they explode. Like I take out this place, but then, you know, there's a whole bunch of them and they just keep coming.
Oh no.
And they chop you up real fast.
Yeah.
And this level, no kidding, I did the beginning of this level about 20 times, because you have to run away from them right at the beginning. This is me just restarting. This is how you eventually do it. You kind of hide. Well, this is how I do it. You hide here and don't die.
Not like that at all then.
No, but then also in Japan, you get these guys with like mad. He reminds me of the guy at the end of Streets of Rage 2. He's got a like really heavy machine gun, and there's loads of these white suited guys all over the level. And then the final, probably the toughest enemy. I'm sure there's more tougher ones down the line.
Yeah.
You saw me doing this.
Yeah.
The geishas. And it might not be, again, because the game is so quick, it might not be immediately obvious what is going on and why it's hard, but they can teleport. And if you take a look at their rate of fire and how many bars of energy I've got, which is I've got 5 with this character in the bottom left hand side of the screen, you can see how quickly they could end me.
Yeah, they have they sort of fire bullets out of their fans or something, don't they? They can sort of like a shotgun shot.
I'm glad that's what you said.
Yeah. Yes.
but I managed to defeat them. So there we go. That's a really, sorry, that was breathless.
Yeah.
But it's because the game is it's so hard to pick out bits of the gameplay to explain without like talking at the speed that the game runs, which is really, really fun.
And I can see that what you're saying about Hotline Miami, and also OlliOlli, of course, which Roll7 made.
Yeah.
You can see that, you know, the kind of you're going to know when I've gone wrong on this level, because there's little mini missions you have to do. It's like got to restart, got to restart.
Challenges, yeah, of course. I could have mentioned the challenges, and also one thing again, it's quite hard to show on video, but the music is great. So you do get into that same way with OlliOlli. You get into like a rhythm, and the same, and that's why it's like kind of a cross with OlliOlli and Hotline Miami, is because in Hotline Miami you get to know where people are and the timing of it. So you know that if I'm going to walk through here, I'm going to hit this is where I reload. I'm going to grab that power up, and you get into like that rhythm of it, and it reveals itself gradually, like OlliOlli. You know, like I like the game now a lot better than when I started playing it. Yeah. Because I feel like I understand it, and when the music kicks in too, you're like, man, this is, and then it's funny on top. Yeah. Ugh.
It's a powerful combination.
Not a hero. Yeah, it's real good. So there you go. Those are 5 things that you need to know about Not a Hero, which is a shooting game on PlayStation 4.
Excellent.